So how do you guys like my dinky little microphone? I am poor, okay? Don't make fun of me. God! Starting a new year always brings the promise of badass new games. So for my first game purchase of 2010, I chose the highly anticipated Bioshock 2. As far as the new graphics go, I was definitely not disappointed. The game is absolutely gorgeous. Just like in Bioshock 1, this game takes place in the city of Rapture, an extravagant metropolis built under the Atlantic Ocean. This time around, we get to see more of both the inside and outside of the city, and some of the visuals are breathtaking. Unfortunately, Rapture has become sort of a dystopian, evil wonderland due to a civil war that took place 10 years before and the mess of gun-wielding crackheads that reside there. Well, I guess I should say atom heads. In this world, people use a substance called Atom, which is sort of a weird goo that contains stem cells. This allows you to genetically modify your system and basically give yourself superpowers. Obviously, this makes the player's character, oh my god, super badass. But unfortunately, it makes for some pretty destructive foes as well. So beware. As a big fan of the first Bioshock game, I always wondered what it would be like to play as one of the unstoppable guardians of the Little Sisters, the Big Daddy. So obviously I was ridiculously excited when I found out that in Bioshock 2, you get to do just that. In the new storyline, you play as Subject Delta, a Big Daddy who is on a mission to find and rescue the little sister he once cared for. On the way, you encounter tons of challenges, new weapons, and a few new enemies. One of these is the Big Sister, which is sort of a new and improved version of a Big Daddy. For the majority of the game, the Big Sisters just sort of stalk you, watching your every move and generally making you nervous. But every now and then, like most women, they have a massive mood swing and decide that they don't like you, and as a result, they will hunt you down and beat the living shit out of you. Screeching like a cat in heat, the Big Sister does her best to destroy your eardrums while she proceeds to PMS all over you. Her womanly wrath comes in the form of unwanted combustion, shock treatment, and roundhouse kicks to the face. So, if you're not armed with several health kits and a tampon, I would suggest you run the fuck away. Oh yeah, you can't run away, 'cause guess what, buddy? You're going nowhere till you kill that bitch. Also, since you get to play the Big Daddy in this game, you get the privilege of adopting little sisters. Little sisters are a bunch of strange little brats who, for some reason, look exactly the same, and enjoy pumping people's atom directly out of them with a syringe. That's not morbid. Apparently little sisters also have jaundice. The job of the Big Daddy is to protect and carry these kids around so they can find decaying bodies and drain them of their delicious genetic juice. Sometimes little sisters even like drinking said genetic juice out of a bottle, which is, on so many levels, f***ing disturbing. Here you can see a rather suggestive clip of a Big Daddy adopting a little sister so he can help her out with her sick f***ery.
Daddy, are you taking me home too?
Wow. So many jokes.
Daddy! No! No!
So at least we know that 2K Mirin will make plenty of money off of the registered sex offenders who decide to buy this game. Yes, I know, I should probably get around to talking about the weapons. Now before I got to be a Big Daddy, I was so mad that in the last game I couldn't use his giant drill as a weapon. Well, oh shit, now you can. Now when some crazy pipe-wielding bitch doesn't respect your pimp hand, you can impale her and literally drill her to death, which seems to give an entirely new meaning to screwing someone. Another gun we've added to the repertoire is the machine gun. The Big Daddy uses a machine gun in place of a Tommy gun. It really does the same thing as a Tommy gun, only it's bigger and sexier. Although what's funny is that the machine gun uses 50 caliber rounds, yet you can still scavenge ammo from a Tommy gun, which in reality uses a 45 caliber ACP round. Whatever. It's just that if I was making a game, I'd do some research or go to the gun range. Just, fuck it, I'm gonna shut up. Now, we mustn't forget the spear gun. No, it isn't for killing fat chicks. This one's a lot like the crossbow from the last game, but this time around we get some new ammo types, such as the rocket spear. When you shoot it, it will detonate and turn into a sort of missile a moment after it's been fired into an enemy. Which is hilarious, because then the body, flies around slamming into things and setting shit on fire. Speaking of setting shit on fire, why the hell is everyone in this game so goddamn flammable? You'd think that a bunch of pretty motherfuckers that live under the ocean would be a little more fire resistant. But instead of running for the nearest fire extinguisher, they instead run around screaming things like you're a pervert.
Help! He's in my room! Pervert!
That's weird. It's almost like they know. Anyway, the last gun I'll make note of is the hack tool. Hack shit with this shit when you can't reach shit. Although it isn't really a gun, the hack tool fires a dart called the hack dart, and you use it to shoot machines that are out of your reach. This can be very handy for turrets when you don't want to get shot, or just when you're too lazy to go somewhere. And no matter how much you want to try it for the sake of lulz, you cannot harm enemies by shooting them with a hack dart. However, you can beat the shit out of them with the hack tool, which is twice as funny. In fact, I love this game because you can beat the shit out of them with anything. Especially when you get telekinesis. Then you can start beating the shit out of them with shit. You can beat the shit out of them with each other. I just wish you could beat the shit out of a little sister, because then it'd be really fun. I mean, think about it. We could take it from pedo land into domestic violence land. Oh, the possibilities. I should probably mention something about the best new addition to this game, the multiplayer. Now, when it came to the campaign, I honestly thought they could have done more, like maybe added a few new plasmids, for example. But if you want to start bitching about the lack of new shit, you should remember that they added a fucking multiplayer. Unfortunately, though, I haven't had that much experience with it, but I can still tell you a thing or two from what I know. The new Bioshock 2 multiplayer takes place about a year before Bioshock 1, so you're actually in the middle of the Rapture Civil War fighting each other. I thought this was cool because it fills in a piece of the story we didn't know and lets you take part in it. The ability to play as a Big Daddy is granted to the player if you find the Big Daddy suit somewhere in the map. Putting the suit on will let you be the Big Daddy for an entire lifespan, and when you're killed, it will pop up in another random spot on the map so someone else can have a try. Another note I've learned is that you can apparently combine plasmids to make new plasmids and combine weapons, which is pretty awesome. Getting to the point, I don't actually have that many complaints. Like all games, it has its shortcomings. But like I said, there's a goddamn multiplayer now, so shut up and I say we get in there and tear it up.
Turn off the lights.
Thanks, guys. I'm Jennie Doomsday, and this has been an exclusive review from GameCrib. For more reviews and articles by me, check out my blog at gamecrib.com/doomsday. I'll see you guys online. GameCrib, where everyone knows your game.